Hi everyone, this is Hawaii Media. My name is Ada. So now we are in the Suwon. So we just want to ask, why did you select to run again for the selection?
Okay, so June 2nd is in about 6 weeks. We have an Ontario election, what we call a provincial election. And the election, why I'm coming back for this re-election is the fact, as a former registered nurse and a former nursing professor, I know how important healthcare is to every Ontarians, okay? So I was right there during the entire first, second, third, fourth, fifth wave of the pandemic. And I know as a former nurse, the consequences of this current government in managing COVID-19 pandemic and the constant delay in providing leadership and many missteps, and we saw the consequences, tragic consequences of the various frail seniors who passed away, especially in my riding on Scarborough Agincourt. And I also know, beside the missteps dealing with healthcare, because the first and second and third wave, they completely forgot about the seniors in long-term care home or nursing home. But they also did a lot of missteps dealing with our kids in our school. As your viewer will probably know, I was a school board trustee before, right? Okay. And so on the sixth wave, as we're talking, there are a lot of teachers and students are being gravely affected by the pandemic. Classrooms are getting smaller because the people are sick and they have to stay home. Okay, so at the end of the day, I know I still have a lot to contribute provincially. I also believe I have the knowledge, the skills and ability, and you see the community does support me to come back to continue to serve the people and the businesses of Scarborough Agincourt.
Okay, thank you. And as we know, they have a lot of Chinese people in Scarborough. Do you have anything to talk about them?
Well, my writing is very diverse. It's not just Chinese. I have a very large, sizable Tamil community, a sizable Tagalog, Filipino community. So we have a very diverse community. So Scarborough is very diverse. So some of the leading issues, I would say top 5 is healthcare, of course, education, the economy, because during the pandemic we have been gravely affected by small businesses closing and opening of the stores, and they have been affected by the lack of support by the government, like giving them just $10,000 and expecting that $10,000 doesn't even pay for the electricity bill, right? The other big thing that we are very concerned about is the whole public transit issue. Okay, people want us to have the subway, which is the best candidate who could do to bring in the conversation about public transit and climate change. Like, look at the climate change. It's the future generation of Ontario, and nobody in my writing says support building the new highway, building the 413 highway. Nobody, okay? Yet this government is determined to build this new highway. For who? For who, right? Not for Scarborough, for sure. We're also very concerned about how to support to make our environment more green. So I was very pleased our party yesterday was Earth Day, commitment to millions of trees to be built at your house and in the community, but also EV car, because people are driving, right? The electric vehicle cars, and we got to make sure there need to be not just about making sure our community gets the EV car, but also support the industry, the builder, the manufacturer, from Honda to domestic cars like Chrysler and Ford. We have Ford in Oakville, so they get funding. Okay, so the government work in partnership with the federal government. They also concerned about the daycare, like the signing of the deal with the daycare towards the end of March, when every province has already signed the daycare months ago. We're the last province. Ontario always lead. Why are we following people? Right? That makes no sense. So families in Toronto and Scarborough Agincourt have been gravely affected by their delay in signing of the daycare, because we could have benefited that results now. Instead, they won't get the implementation until the fall. That's not good for the families.
Okay. Thank you so much, and all the good for you.
Thank you.
And hope you can be successful in
Thank
this
you.
selection.
Thank you for your interest.